Damon thought about how to explain Talia's presence to Caden and Maya. "I'm responsible for her," Damon said, which got him raised eyebrows from Maya and Caden, who obviously wanted more information. "Marcy stayed in my room, and this girl interrupted. Because of that, she ended up in her current state." Maya connected the dots. "Is she the Omega you mentioned, who got a beating from Marcy?" Damon nodded. "Why do you make it sound like you bear responsibility?" Caden asked. "If Marcy has a temper, it seemed only a matter of time before she snapped, regardless of your involvement." Damon raised his hand, indicating to Caden to be patient. "That marked the first time. Then, I went to Alpha Edward and told him that some Omegas received physical punishments, and that he should talk to Marcy about it. After that, this girl got another beating." Maya and Caden exchanged looks, feeling that something was missing from the story. Sure, Talia got hit because of Damon twice, and even though he got involved, he didn't do it on purpose. These represented internal dealings of the pack. As an alpha, Damon should know that any alpha wouldn't tolerate others meddling in how rewards and punishments went to his people. Taking her away sneakily equaled stealing. Alphas considered their pack members like their belongings, because a pack built strength with numbers. By taking away Talia, Damon indirectly weakened the Red Moon pack. Sure, she didn't fight as a warrior, but every member counted. "You know that Alpha Edward might turn hostile if he finds out that she stays with us, right?" Caden asked. Damon rubbed his face with force. He knew that, but... "You didn't see where she lived. I found her in the attic, bruised and bleeding among broken furniture and rags. No one cared about her." "And you do?" Caden snapped. "You understand that our relationship with the Red Moon Pack remains tense, and that Alpha Edward works in the shadows while trying to topple you, and you just gave him a reason to go openly against us. Does she deserve jeopardizing the Dark Howlers pack? Do you realize that this might cause a war?" Damon growled, and his face contorted in anger. "What do you expect me to do? To leave her there to rot while waiting for another beating?" "That's not what Caden said," Maya interrupted with urgency while her eyes darted from Caden to Damon. She couldn't go against her alpha, but she didn't want her mate to end up fighting with Damon either. Seeing that she got both Caden's and Damon's attention, Maya resumed talking calmly. "We need to do this right. So far, alphas who complained about us accepting their pack members got silenced by elders after we provided them with testimonies of how they came to us willingly. We can't tell them that we smuggled her in a trunk. Only the three of us know how she ended up with us, and we can't keep this under wraps because our pack members will see the newcomer. We need to come up with a cover story that will make sense, because when Alpha Edward notices her missing, we will become the first suspects, and he might send people to look for her." Damon frowned at the thought of anyone from the Red Moon Pack coming and searching for Talia. What if they took her away? He got an idea. She didn't have the mind link. The Red Moon Pack brought her as a child, and she never went through the acceptance ceremony, so technically, she lives as a rogue. We can say that she grew up with her grandparents, and when they died, she came to this area and we found her on our way home accidentally. "Who will believe that?" Caden asked. "Make it believable!" Damon snapped. All right, Maya said while waving her hands for Damon to calm down. "She represents a rogue we picked up on the way. We will fill that with a few details to make it believable. How do we explain why she came to us and not some other pack?" "Something seems off with her, Wolf," Damon said. "Not many packs will accept members who don't show top form." Maya thought that this gave them something to work with, but... "Will she cooperate and confirm the story?" "If she doesn't, it will bring trouble for us, and she will go back to the Red Moon Pack," Caden said and looked at Damon with disapproval. "I wish you spoke to me before stuffing her in the trunk." Considering that she just lives as an Omega and that Alpha Edward doesn't find value in them, we could have made a deal to take her with us without risking complications. I didn't stuff her anywhere. She got in on her own, Damon said irritably. Why did they make it sound like he kidnapped her? Damon stayed with Talia in the attic, and he didn't want to stay there a minute longer than necessary, so he came up with the idea to leave right away while smuggling Talia with them. He didn't have time for strategy meetings, but it worked. They got out, and they only needed to come up with a cover story and things would turn out fine. Why did Caden raise a fuss? A sound came from Caden's phone, and Damon's eyes widened in panic when he saw an empty bed. Talia disappeared. Damon dashed out and ran frantically to his room. He let out the breath he held when he saw Talia sprawled on the floor, sleeping. She fell off the bed. Damon shook his head helplessly because she looked adorable while hugging a pillow, and he panicked like an idiot for no reason. Why did he think that she disappeared? He walked to Talia slowly and carefully pried the pillow from her hold before lifting her up. Talia stirred a bit while adjusting in Damon's arms to a more comfortable position, and he stood still like a statue as pleasant sensations shot through his body. Damon laid with Talia on the bed with the plan to leave Talia sleeping so that he could return to Caden's and Maya's room. After all, with Talia's arrival at the Dark Howlers pack, they needed to make necessary preparations so that she had a place to stay. However, Talia's head rested on Damon's shoulder, and her warm breath fanned his neck as wonderful sensations overtook his senses, making him tense and relaxed at the same time, and he couldn't let go. Talia felt exhausted, and Damon didn't sleep for 2 nights in a row either. Damon stared at Talia, engraving every curve of her face into his memory, and he didn't realize that his eyes closed gradually. In Caden's and Maya's room, the couple stared at Caden's phone. Did Damon develop a split personality, or did we bring an imposter from the Red Moon pack? Maya asked. Caden chuckled. Maybe they really drugged him with something that makes a man lovey-dovey, and Marcy now pulls her hair out because he left before drugs took full effect. You don't worry about this? Caden shrugged. It seems that he cares about the girl. Why should I worry? That should represent a good thing. Yeah, it should, Maya said thoughtfully. But this is Damon. Remember our Alpha Damon? The one who uses the word girlfriend as a cuss word? The one who doesn't get close to a woman if she has clothes on? Are you telling me that suddenly his tender side shows? I'm not buying it. This seems too sudden, and that girl is not his type. Something doesn't seem right. Caden had a thoughtful expression. It's not sudden. This change happened shortly after we arrived at the Red Moon pack. I realized Damon's behavior seemed strange when he asked me how I felt when we met. Maya blinked rapidly. Damon showed interest in knowing more about mates? She looked at the phone where Damon slept while cradling Talia in his arms, and Maya's eyebrows went up in slow motion. Call me crazy, but I think that girl might be his mate. You're crazy, Caden said right away. Damon hates everything about mates. If she represented his mate, he would reject her and run for the hills and not cuddle. Maya smirked knowingly and pointed at the phone. And how would you explain that?
Please subscribe to the Pocket FM YouTube channel and press the bell icon for instant notification. Check out our channel for more such exciting shows.